first of the daggers I want to present you is a Highland Dirk made by Tod Cutler. You maybe know Tod Cutler from his YouTube channel, or you know his pages, Tod's Workshop, where he makes more like very high quality, one of a piece customized swords and daggers. And he also makes all sorts of things like siege weapons and crossbows, and of course he makes a wide range of medieval and Renaissance knives and daggers. The style of grip he chose is more like what you could call Ballock dagger influenced, so it's more like an early Highland Dirk, so maybe late 16th or 17th century. There are historical examples which look very similar. I'm not sure if he based this model on a specific one or if he used a range of models for this one. So you can definitely find historical examples which look very much like this and very similar. And what you can see, as Tod explains in one of his videos, this style also resembles the influence the so-called Bollock or Ballock dagger had on the design of the dirk. So there are different theories about from where the typical Scottish or Highland dirk developed. Some say from influences from Irish Scians. Others say from influences from the Bollock dagger or Ballock dagger. Personally, I think maybe both. Maybe an influence from the Gaelic culture from Ireland, and maybe already long daggers of a similar type existed in Scotland as well. But of course, the Bollock dagger was also known in Scotland in the medieval times and 16th century. So whatever the case is, I think it's a beautiful made dagger. I like the style very much. The sheath is also made of leather. There are different colors available. This one is a simple brown leather sheath. It has a very beautiful brass pommel cap, a disc-shaped pommel cap with broken hearts in it. Very beautiful. You can see this crown-like screw attaches the tang, very secure in the grip, so everything is very tight. I'm not sure what kind of wood he uses, not written on his page. Some kind of hardwood, I guess, but anyways, also very beautifully made. You can see the resemblance to the Bollock dagger very clear. And down here you have this kind of brass reinforcement, which you can find also on some historical Bollock daggers and later also on some Highland Dirks as well. I'm not sure if I saw an example of a 17th century Highland dagger which had this. Anyways, Tod explains in one of his videos that this is also important for reinforcement of the grip to make it secure in the thrust, especially when the wooden balls, so to speak, of this Ballock or Bollock shaped type of grip are pretty small. So he says in his video that this might secure and reinforce the wooden handle. No matter if this is a replica of a specific historical example of an earlier Highland Dirk, or if this is more like a mix or an interpretation of these historical examples, I think it's really nicely made, and especially for the price, this is really a great Highland Dirk. Blade has also beautiful shape. Here you can see the little detail of the mark of Tod Cutler, which I think is a very nice detail. It's very similar to what you find the running wolf of Passau and other things on blades made in Germany or Italy. So not a long inscription, but just a simple mark of the maker, and this looks really authentic and very simple and minimalistic. I like this very much. And you can see here in the upper part you get kind of a little bit of a back edge, and it's not really sharpened, it's just semi-sharp, so you have a better blade for thrusting, optimized for thrusting and stabbing. Little detail here, you can see the back is quite thick, I think like 4 millimeters, and then here it gets pretty narrow, and I really like it that it's kind of a hard breaking point from the broad back edge to really a dagger point, even though it's only sharp on one side, but it's more like a dagger point now. Also really like that. Talking about the grip again, most of the modern makers, so like big companies like Cold Steel, Hanway and Whittlers, do it completely wrong. They make dirks with way too big handles, and Tod got it right here. As he says in his own video, it's still kind of big compared to some historical examples, but for my hand this is really perfect. I don't think it's big. The dirk really fits in the palm of the hand as it should. May it be the knife grip, or may it be the dagger grip or index finger grip. So this works really nice. But I also like it fits perfectly in the sheath, and it fits like when you're left-handed or right-handed, that it fits the right way on both sides. So you can carry it on your right side or your left side, depending on what is your dominant hand. You can see the stitching here on the back of the sheath. Also, everything is hand-worked and handcrafted. Now, cutting through paper, people are a little bit crazy about the paper test cutting, but if you like such things for a dagger, I would say it's sharp enough. You can, of course, sharpen it a little bit more, or honing it to like razor sharpness if you want to. But I think it comes from Tod directly already sharp enough. And also, as you can see here, stabbing or thrusting and cutting through some heavier paper boxes is not a problem at all. So overall impression is I'm very, very happy with Tod Cutler Highland Dirk. It looks very beautiful. It is very well made. It's sturdy. It's, just feels good in the hands. It just feels right. And when you consider the price, I put a link down below to the homepage of Tod Cutler, where you can get this Highland Dirk, especially for the price. This is really a bargain. If you compare this to big companies like Cold Steel or Whittlers or Hanway, they have the same price or nearly the same price, or sometimes they are even way more expensive than this one, and they are, compared to the work by Tod Cutler, they are really not good, or they are at least wrong. So the handles are too big, the sheet is on the wrong side, and many other things. So before you get one of the big company named Dirks, you should consider to order one made by Tod Cutler. And also, I have to say, the first sharp dirk, except Cold Steel and Whittlers I had, was made by Armor Class. And I have to say, Armor Class, the dirk is not very good. I ordered it as a sharp version, and first of all, they just used the very flexible training blade, as I see it, to make a sharp version, and it's way too thin for a dagger. So it's really more like a machete. It has not enough weight, it has not enough cutting power, even though it's sharp, but it's just too flexible for a dagger, which is supposed to thrust through heavy closes at least. The sheath was okay, but the handle was really made, in my opinion, not very good, very sloppy. Not really worth to discuss it at all. So, and from the price, it is, I think, the same price as the Tod Cutler Dirk, or maybe even a little bit more expensive. So, sorry to say that. I like the work by Armor Class, especially their swords, but the dirk is not very good, especially compared to this one made by Tod Cutler. Hope you enjoyed this little review. The other dirks you saw in the intro and the Irish Scian, I will also make a short review video about them. So check out this channel, keep an eye on it, and see you in the next video.